Mikko Rantanen, you are a Dallas Star.
Whoa!
You got some balls because you turned down some big money. You might want to clean them up with Manscaped, the Beard and Balls bundle, 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com/dangle or use the promo code dangle. Mikko, you saucy minx, you $96 million saucy minx.
That's his jersey number.
Mikko,
he got his jersey number.
Mikko Rantanen, you're officially a Dallas Star. Congratulations. All right? 8 years, $12 million a year. And if reports are to be believed, the Carolina Hurricanes offered way more money. Between $13 and $14 million, according to Greg Wyshynski.
Whoa.
And he ended up signing for $12 million in the state of Texas.
It really was a battle of the two most finished teams ever. Carolina.
That dates back, too.
It's
Dallas and Carolina.
They're like about, I would say 45% of Team Finland. Dallas is 45%. And then Florida.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's all of them.
And by the way, as a part of the deal, Logan Stankoven is now a Carolina Hurricane, along with a 2026 first, a 2027 first. And as of this recording, we're not sure about the other pieces, but there will be some smaller pieces in this deal. We got the main part, though, and let's focus on Mikko Rantanen. And let's talk about this top 9 for the Dallas Stars.
This is crap.
You know, you got a really good problem on your hands when you're like, where do we put Maverick Bourque? It must have to be the fourth line because you look at it, Robertson, Hintz, Granlund. That's line
Who
one.
they already got and they paid a first-round pick for.
Marchment, Duchesne, Maverick Bourque was at the second line right wing. I would think it's going to be Mikko Rantanen now.
Yeah.
Jamie Benn, Wyatt Johnson, Evgeny Dadonov, and Oscar Back, Sam Steele, Logan Stankoven was playing fourth line right wing, and it looks like maybe Maverick Bourque moves down there. That is the most formidable forward group in the entire NHL.
Wyatt Johnson had 65 points last year. He already has 59 this year, and they got him in the third line.
Fourth. Well, no, sorry, Wyatt. Yes, Wyatt,
Yeah.
not Logan. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So Dallas is pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, that's insane. That's absolutely... I'm running out of words. Like, with Carolina, you look at what every team gave up off their roster, right? Through this whole chain, this trade tree, if you will. Colorado obviously gave up Rantanen. That hurts. You get Nietzsche, and he's actually crazy for you. Okay, now I don't feel as bad. Carolina gives up Nietzsche. You know what? For Rantanen, yeah, I do that every time, right? He's not very good for you. Oh, no. So you trade him. What's Dallas losing off their roster? It's not Nietzsche. It's not Rantanen either. It's Logan Stankoven, who I think could be an extremely good player in this league.
Certainly has been a fun watch for them.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me a little bit of like a different version of Alex DeBrincat, where you're like, this guy scores crazy numbers at every level. Why was he picked in the second round? And then you look at his height and weight and you go, oh, that's why.
Yep.
He's 165 pounds, 5'8", beef slices. He's just not as big as those other guys, but you're replacing a player with 9 goals and 29 points this season with Mikko Rantanen, who in an off season has 70 points split between 2 teams and is one of the most prolific playoff goal scorers over the past decade.
Mm-hmm.
What a smash out of the hit home run.
So CJ said that his points per game in the regular season is 1.08. In the playoffs, that jumps to 1.25.
Goofy. He might hit 300 goals by the end of the season, too.
Yeah.
He needs 11.
I will update the trade because we just found out Carolina is also getting the 2026 and 2027 third-round picks from Dallas.
Okay, so Carolina loses Nietzsche. Okay, but you get Rantanen. Oh, you lose Rantanen too. You get Stankoven. Carolina is a playoff team. That's not good enough. It's great that you have Stankoven. It's great you got all these assets. You're a playoff team. That's not good enough. By the time this video is up, maybe in 71 minutes at the time we're shooting this, when the deadline comes, a lot of those assets from Dallas, Carolina's going to pitch out the door for something else, and they're going to make a run for it, and they're going to have 2 assets at least that I think will be more valuable to them than Nietzsche's. And obviously more than Rantanen.
A first and a third in 26, a first and a third in 27. Jesse, I want to talk to you, or I want to ask you about the fact that Mikko Rantanen turned down that money in Carolina. Tax situations aside, because I don't know what what Carolina's tax situation is. We know it's lower in Texas because Texas is zero when it comes to income tax. But beyond all that, it feels to me a little bit like there might have been other reasons other than just taxes.
At the end of the day, we all know Mikko Rantanen didn't want to play in Carolina. The money that he's making in Dallas would have been available to him, plus more in Carolina. So it comes down to he didn't want to be there, whether it's for personal reasons because of the city or hockey reasons because of the team. He looked at one of those two situations and said, this is not where I'm going to be for the next 8 years. And from that side of things, I feel really bad for Carolina Hurricanes fans in this current moment, because trading Marty Necas away for Mikko Rantanen, you're like, oh my God, we got this guy. He's going to change our franchise. And then it was 13 games total he plays for the Hurricanes.
He played 13 games. He had 2 goals and 6 points.
13 games later, you're moving on from him. And that really sucks, because then the deal becomes we traded Necas and all that other stuff to Colorado for a couple 4 draft picks, 2 firsts and 2 thirds.
And Stankoven, who just turned 22.
Stankoven's going to be great. He's not Mikko Rantanen. He's not Marty Necas. He might be really good one day, but he's not that right now. And for Carolina, a team that keeps getting kind of close in the playoffs but keeps failing, every year needs to be a we got to win this thing year. And having Stankoven right now over those 2 players doesn't help you. So I hope those draft picks that they gained, plus Taylor Hall, he's also there as well because he came back in the Necas deal from Chicago. I hope those picks go out today in the next couple hours and minutes to help them right now. Else it's just looking like, when is this first round pick going to help us?
I think also you got to think, and this is just conjecture on my part, but that Mikko probably looked at the way that the Carolina Hurricanes spend money or don't. They are very judicious about their money spending. We know Tom Dunnan is extremely involved in that front office, and that's not to take away from Eric Tulsky, who's, I think, one of the best GMs out there already.
Their issues predate him.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But I think you look at the amount of money and you go, okay, if I'm Mikko Rantanen and I want to win a cup, yes, these guys are regular second-round appearances. They are. You can't take that away from them. Am I going to be the only legitimate superstar? I know Sebastian Aho is. But we, and Rod Brindamore likes to play a defensive system. Is this the thing for me? And so now he gets to go to Dallas, where I would argue, when he was in Colorado, as much as the high-end talent on the forward group is Nate McKinnon, and there's no comparison. This is a better Dallas forward group than it is in Colorado. It's a better Dallas forward group than it was in Carolina.
That loud swearing you heard from the background is producer Drew.
I think,
dude, we are wildly close from a first round matchup between Dallas and Colorado.
How close?
So Dallas is second in the Central. They're probably going to stay there. Winnipeg has a 6-point lead. Minnesota is third. So right now the matchup is Dallas-Minnesota. Minnesota's third with 76 points in 62 games played. Colorado, 63 games played, the exact same amount of points. All Colorado has to do is do that little leapfrog. They're not going to get caught by Calgary or Vancouver or St. Louis or any of those teams. All Colorado has to do is hop over Minnesota, who's dealing with injuries right now and has a negative goal differential. And we have a first-round series between Mikko Rantanen and the team that refused to sign him, or he wouldn't sign with, or whatever it was, and the team he's on now.
Don't you guys want to know what Colorado's final offer to Mikko Rantanen was? Because we had heard it might have been as high as 12.5. And I wonder now.
It would have been at least what Dallas is offering.
I wonder now if he should have just signed it.
I bet he's wondering that also. I don't know what the tax situation is like in Colorado.
It's higher than Texas.
Yeah. So that's probably good for him. There's also living situation and everything. Like, remember the Athletic agent poll. I think it was executive and agent poll
Yep.
or whatever it was. Carolina did terribly.
Yep.
Your reputation
Precedes you.
precedes you. Thank you, Adam. Dallas, I believe, did very well. So
Jim Nill is a monster. I think you got to give him a ton of credit for how he's handled this trade deadline, shoring up the defense with that trade, and also getting a winger from San Jose, CC and Granlund, right? That was a great trade. And then to get the belle of the ball, literally the crown jewel of this trade deadline, who has been traded twice. Imagine telling us January 30th that Mikko Rantanen would be dealt not once but twice. We wouldn't have believed you.
psycho stuff.
Crazy.
Absolute psycho
So
stuff.
we'll see what Carolina does. They've got an hour and a half as of this recording to figure something out. They've got Logan Stankoven. They now have 4 more picks that they can deal from. We'll see what happens. Jesse, anything else to add?
I forgot that they also sent out a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick in the Rantanen deal. So the trade becomes Nietzsche's, Drury, a 2nd and a 4th to Colorado for Stankoven, Hall, 2 firsts and 2 thirds.
See,
not
again,
right.
we're talking about numbers versus letters.
Yep.
The picks, the fact that they're numbers and not like actual people yet, I think makes it sound shitty.
They need people to win this season.
And I think by the time this video is up and you watch it, they will get those people.
For the sake of Hurricanes fans and the team this year, I hope you are correct, but we don't know.
They might be the first team to ever get 2 firsts and 2 thirds, and if they actually use them, we're like, what a bunch of stupid idiots.
100%. 100%.
SDPN trade deadline review. Reaction?
You're doing great, man.
Coverage?
You're doing great.
Continues.